Hi, this is Joe Bernard, and I'm going to show you how to use the trucking rate calculator. You go to the home page, therealdealtrucking.com, and you go down to calculators and you click on that. And you go down to rate calculator and you click on that. This is going to show you how to get your monthly rate, um, what your average rate per load should be for the month. This is the calculator itself. This is where you do all your input data for basically how the truck is run. If you're an owner operator running your own authority, I always say if you can make $3,000 running company as a company driver, you should be able to double that if you're running your own authority and running the business. If you're leased on, then you should be able to make $4,500. I have several situations. If you're leased on with a company, not a percentage situation, you would use the yellow section. Leased on with the percentage, like a Landstar, you would use this section here. This might be 63 or 72% or whatever your deal is. Okay, this pink section is like a Panther. You get paid a higher base rate, but a whole lot less on like your deadhead and so forth. Okay, whatever section that you're using, yellow, green, pink, or we have a couple other sections down here. Um, you have running your own authority, you run line haul and then you run back haul. That's basically running out and then running back, finding loads back. Or if you're running round trip, you find a load that pays you enough to go all the way out and deadhead back. So that's a round trip. I have this set up on round trip. You see where I have a one there, and I'm using the light blue box to do my input. Okay, this is the percentage of deadhead that you'll do per round trip to come back. Okay, percent of the load. If you did like 500, say for example, you went out 500 miles, then you'll come back probably about 480 miles or whatever. Okay, so the light blue boxes are for input, and you can only work one of these situations at a time, either round trip or running your own authority, line haul, back haul, or running these. So this should, if one of these is a one, the rest of them should be zeros. And likewise on the information in the boxes, and at least these boxes. These ones don't matter all that much. This is a company driver right here. Okay, let's see where we're at. Okay, this is where you put in your expense information. You write what you expense is, and you write how much. If you're leased, you have to come in and erase the cargo insurance and the trailer. This is variable expense side over here. You can kind of dink around with that a little bit. And it shows your total expense right there, and it brings it back up to the calculator here. And then you put in what your expected income is. If you're factoring, if you factor, everybody doesn't factor. What percent are you factoring? It'll calculate, how much your loss is or your expense is. Your fuel price per gallon, your miles per gallon, how many days you're out, how many days per load. I only manipulated these two to make this say 9 because when you run round trip, you don't get that many loads per month. So 8 or 9 is about what you need to be, and they're about 400 miles, you know. Okay, then 20% of that is deadhead, so that's about 115. The total miles per load is like 575. When you get down here, you got like, it shows you loaded miles per month, deadhead miles per month, miles back per month, and the total miles. Your total miles shouldn't exceed 13,500, or you're probably doing something pretty illegal here. Okay, if you're individual. Okay, lastly, if you're leased on, I want you to put your one in here, make sure all the other boxes are zeroed and so forth, and then go ahead and manipulate this box to whatever this says match rate goal. Okay, right there. Then if you have a fixed fuel surcharge, put your one in here, put your fixed fuel surcharge, and then kind of work this a little bit more, and that's how you'll get your rate. You'll need to know what your basic rate is for all your loads. That's how you make money out here, and knowing that is very important. There's a lot of other calculators, but they don't allow you to break it down like this and use it for several different situations, or match it and go in and see, how it your situation would work out it, depending on where you're working. So this is very handy too. I hope it helps, and thank you for listening.